So I've tested the board off the USB with the vacuum fluorescent display module installed and bypassing the polyfuse that was over here, and it ran absolutely fine. So my guess at the polyfuse was limiting the current and causing the display to fail was correct, and for now I'm just going to put a jumper link in and bypass the polyfuse completely. It's really to protect the USB port, and to be honest, the USB, the powered USB ports that I run this stuff off of are current protected on their own. It's a very high quality hub, so I don't know that this is going to be a problem. Of course, this assumes I can get the wire link through the hole. So those are flexed out. We will just solder those in place. I believe that's just an old resistor or capacitor lead. It'll be plenty for this. The other thing I did was I removed these connectors from down here. I'm not going to be using external power like I originally planned. And I'm going to go ahead and use actually the standard converter. Now that I've worked through the documentation to understand what this board actually does, it's really pretty slick. So my configuration, I'll bring +5 in via USB from one of the two USB connectors. The 5-volt USB gets passed onto this board. In this position PS1 here will be a buck and boost converter that will convert that to plus and minus 12 coming out here. The plus 12 will be regulated to +5, and there's a plus 12 rail, minus 5 here in this upper regulator, and minus 12. So that's pretty cool. So this actually becomes a switching module and with plus and minus 12 and plus and minus 5, which is really pretty cool. It makes a lot of sense to do that. So it makes this much more versatile, and really it just then becomes decide kind of what to do to protect the board, if anything, or just even use it as is. So first thing I need is to solder up the board itself, which means I'm going to need a couple of connectors here. So let's cut that one there. Okay, that shot across the room and came back. And this one here. And this will go on this way. It'll sit down there. I will put the mounting hardware in later. So I've ordered the parts I needed for this on DigiKey. I found the switching converter. I went ahead and got fresh regulators, even though I've got lots in my stock here. I don't think I have any 750 ohm resistors, so I ordered that. I ordered capacitors just because they're cheap. They'd be match sets on there, even though I could probably just find something here that was absolutely fine and usable in my stock. The more I play with this, the more versatile I realize the design is. Oh, come on. Yeah, the more I read up on this, here's looking at the power supply stuff. It's pretty versatile. We've already talked a little bit about you can bring in power from an external wall wart of some kind through a jack that would be mounted down here. You can use USB power. You can bring in power from those connectors that I removed on the back side of the board. There's just lots of options. I actually need to put the header in over here. That header actually is going to be useful. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pins. Kind of an unusual count. But this is where you can pick up various voltages to jumper elsewhere. So this would be where I might pick up minus 12 or plus 12, I don't remember which, to bring to a 2708 or a 1702 EEPROM board over here, then regulate the 9 volts that's required for that part. So I think in his, the way he's called this out, these are female. I'm going to go ahead and use male just because I prefer working that way with the female jumper cables. So that looks straight enough to me. I think in this case it's just personal preference. So that gets that on there. I should really be down to the transistors. Because we're not using the wall wart, we don't need anything in this block here. These two jumpers bring in USB power onto the board. Is there anything here besides the transistors left? I don't think so. I think that pretty much wraps up things we're going to do on that board. So back to what we were doing, 1K ohm resistor. Only need one. So we'll go ahead and pull the paper tabs off of here. I'm throwing in 1%. I don't think it really matters in this. They're just current limiting, it looks like to me, for the LEDs. But this is what I have handy. So that's what I'm going to use. Okay. A couple of 220s, and these are the really tiny ones. They're still the correct wattage, so oh, come on. This gets into the reason why, I only needed one for the original board, but I ordered 10. Is they're cheap, and I now have the extras I need for this card, because I didn't really look at these adapter boards ahead of time with an intent of using them. It kind of came after the fact as I was looking at the larger picture of what I have here. So 220. Gets those resistors in place. I need a 5817 diode. Let's see if I can find them. So you can use a 5817 or 5818 here is what the book says. And since we got 5817s for use on the main board, I'm just going to use one of them there. Even though the silkscreen says 5818. 1N5817 Schottky diode. This is part of the DC to DC converter circuit, so it needs to be I believe a very fast switching diode, if I remember correctly. So we'll use what we already have. Blue LED again to indicate system power, just because that's what I've got here. So that it matches the LED that's on the main board. use green for the 3 power rails just because it'll be a unique color on here. Odd angle there to be soldering. What else can I put on here? I need... These were a real deal, I believe, on eBay, where I found these blue ones that I've been pulling from what I bought here with these blue ones for years. There was a lot of S100 boards that used large numbers of these, and I still had, what was left in that organizer there. I'm not sure how many generations of this design he's been through. I know it's more than a couple. The regulators go in. There's a single pin header that goes in right there, using a slightly different approach. Anything else I can put on here? Oh, I need one more 104 cap. Huh, there's 5 of them, not 4. Well, we know where to get one. I have for these little 0.1 microfarad spiking caps, I've actually pulled them off of old boards that were being scrapped out intentionally for reuse on other vintage boards. So it gave it a little more vintage look. And also a lot of new stuff like what we're dealing with right here, at least new old stock. I don't know how old these are, but they're new old stock, they're not used. I think that's everything we can mount on there till my delivery from DigiKey gets here. I need to get this mounting hardware in place. So it turns out the brass spacers I'm using with a nut underneath them, or a nut to raise them up off the board a bit, actually fit really well with the pin headers I'm using. So it produced a sufficiently, what's the term I want to use here? It gives me a good working height for boards that plug down in. They don't quite bottom out in the connector, which works well. So I actually pulled these off before I started shooting video so I could do this bit of rework you see happening here, because I got serious about the height of these with the LCD, really with the VFD, when I realized the PCB was being bowed slightly, which wasn't good. Something I didn't want. So This board will mount down here, like so. I'm obviously off by a pin, like so. The LCD, of course, mounts here, like so. Better screwdriver for this floating around here. At least there was. What I don't have is a match set of screws to lock that board in place, and I just lost my last match screw onto the floor. You know, it wouldn't be a video if I didn't drop at least one thing on the floor, and I think that was the second thing that's hit the floor in this video. So of course right now that DC to DC module isn't going to do anything. Which is why I left these two jumpers in place. I think once this board is in place, that jumper comes off, it picks up USB power into the converter, and then it distributes it 5 volts from the 5 volt regulator to the board, and that jumper is not needed. So I can't do that right now because this board isn't complete. So anyhow, there's a little bit more of the build. It's looking pretty decent. I'll wrap this one up and I'll see you in the next video.